New Zealand currently exports about 30% of its output overseas, and the government has set a target for that figure to reach 40% by 2025. When looking for an export partner, it is natural for firms to be more comfortable with politically safe nations. United States, Australia, United Kingdom. These markets can be saturated, and businesses, when looking for export growth, have no choice but to look at emerging economies that can be often politically risky. So what exactly is political risk? People think that this is something they read in newspapers about. Wars, revolutions, dramatic regime changes. However, there are other aspects of political risk that often don't make the headlines, that may be just as important or even more important for exporting firms. They can come in various forms, such as equity restrictions, restrictions on foreign ownership in a certain country, repatriation restrictions, how much money you can get out of a country in a given period of time, or just something as subtle as exchange rate controls that can be politically motivated. My research shows that firms are affected by such risks through investment efficiency. And the mechanism is really very simple. When you are thinking of exporting to a politically risky nation, you will exercise caution. However, if something risky actually happens, then whatever the firm has invested was too much. And that's investment inefficiency, which is extremely detrimental for our economy, as the capital is supposed to flow from declining industries and into the growing ones. So how can firms measure those risks? Obviously, this day and age, plenty of information is available. However, the sources I use most frequently are Political Risk Service Group, they publish the International Country Risk Guide, and the good old Economist Intelligence Unit, they are the publisher of The Economist magazine, which most of you probably know. So what should firms do? Not export to politically risky nations? Well, that's hardly a solution. There are, however, a number of things that firms can do in order to mitigate their risk exposure. First, have an understanding of the risk-return trade-off. If export returns are high, it is very likely that they are accompanied by political risk. Only invest in exporting channels if you believe that the returns are high enough. Second, diversification is very important. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. This is important even for smaller firms. Finally, you have to have thorough understanding of various aspects of political risk, which may not come in the form of attention-grabbing headlines.